Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So Diablo just tweeted out, prepare for Diablo 3 Season 26. And I'm super excited because I've been really waiting to see what Diablo's going to be adding for the newest seasonal update. So let's go and check it out and we'll talk a little bit about it. So first off, when does it actually start? It's going to be starting on March 10th for the PTR. But let's go ahead and hop right into basically what's actually going to be coming with this new seasonal change. They talk about how to connect, but I just want to go right into the new season. So in Season 26, it's introducing the Echoing Nightmare, an optional and rewarding endgame challenge where players fight within the memories of Nephilim who fell in a greater rift. Today's Nephilim must stand their ground until they are inevitably overwhelmed or defeated. Players must collect a petrified scream from a defeated Greater Rift Guardian to gain entry to the Echoing Nightmare. Transmuting a petrified scream in Kanai's cube summons a portal that players can enter to face the horrors of the Nephilim's past. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. I like this idea of something completely different. Now, in terms of the seasonal theme details, so the petrified screams and the Echoing Nightmare can only be accessed with seasonal characters because it's the new season. That's obvious. Only one player is required to transmute a petrified scream to open a Echoing Nightmare in a multiplayer game. Similar to a boss encounter, they have to accept the prompt to enter. While within a Echoing Nightmare, the difficulty scales as players progress in the encounter. Players can progress faster by defeating monsters quickly. Players receive the following rewards upon completing an Echoing Nightmare: XP, Legendary Gems, Blood Shards, Gems, and a new Legendary Gem, Whisper of Atonement over here. The Whisper of Atonement is a Legendary Gem used exclusively for augmenting ancient legendary items. It drops pre-ranked based on the player's performance in the Echoing Nightmare. So this is really cool, and it's the first seasonal theme that introduces a new activity into the game. In the Echoing Nightmare, players will experience an intense, densely packed, increasingly challenging event that stretches their ability to stay in the fight as long as possible. We found the inspiration in Oryx. Warning, many Nephilim have stood where you are now, but few have succeeded in overcoming the trials. The Echoing Nightmare explores what happened to those Nephilim who did not succeed. So I'm curious to see if this is going to be kind of like where we had those Greater Rift keys and we had to basically challenges to actually enter the tier, if that made any sense. If any of you guys remember back in the day before that mechanic was removed. Now they're also updating the game in terms of the Greater Rifts updates. So for this update over here, we have Oryx Dream. Greater Rifts have a small chance to roll as Oryx Dream. These dreamlike rifts have a curated list of maps and monsters composition. So 3 of the maps have been added and 2 maps have been removed from the Greater Rift pool. So they added Fields of Misery, Desolate Sands, and the Briarthorn Cemetery. They removed the Sewers of Chaldeum, which thank you because I just hate clicking on some of the stuff, and the Hidden Aqueducts. The probability of Greater Rift maps has been adjusted. The probability of monster groups have been adjusted. The following monsters have been adjusted to grant more progression and XP within Greater Rift, so just more XP with these following monsters. And then players can speak to Oryx to close an active Greater Rift. This is actually quite nice, that way you don't have to reset games over and over. For those people that are interested in maybe pushing the Greater Rifts, sometimes you have to fish for a certain tile set, so that can be quite nice for that. Now in terms of the PTR update, they're adding basically a lot more things to be able to be dropped when you just go to the vendor jank meme. So basically the PTR weapons pack, they're adding Yugioh and Furnace. With the armament pack, they're adding all of these items. With the jewelry bag, they're adding other items over here. It can be nice for puzzle rings, just for content creators. I know that creating those and making them ancient can be kind of fun as well. And then there's the Bag of Fortune, just to add a lot more quality of life, just for people that are interested in doing the PTR. You can access things a lot faster. There's also a new PTR bag of recipes. This is really, really nice. And then on top of that, the PTR bag of legendary gems will grant you all of the gems at rank 25, so you don't have to rank them up, which is really nice. Well, you still have to rank them up, but at least it'll be level 25, so they'll have the other bonus legendary power. And Legacy of Dreams will be at 99, and then it gives 13 Whispers of Atonement at rank 100. And I'm guessing that's going to be for augmenting your gear, but we'll see what that actually is. And then on top of that, we have new PTR bag of followers, and it gives you all the following items to go ahead and throw on your follower, which is cool as well. But we're really here for also the item changes. So let's go over the buffs and nerfs for this most recent patch note over here. Keep in mind, these are things all subject to change, but definitely be vocal because they do listen and sometimes they will make adjustments very quick. So with the Barbarian, the Legacy of Raycor, the 4-piece bonus, so first charge gains the effect of every rune and deals 1,000% increased damage. But this is the new bonus part. For every 1% life you are missing, the damage of your Ancient Spear is increased by 2%. And then with the 6-piece bonus, hitting enemies with Furious Charge increases the damage of your next Ancient Spear by 5,500% and causes it to release multiple spears from its target. This effect stacks and is consumed from each released spear. This can only consume a maximum of 5 stacks at a time. Then we have Ariat's Law. The weapon throw and Ancient Spear deal increased damage. Weapon throw generates up to 25 additional fury based on the distance of the enemy hit. Ancient Spear refunds up to 25 fury based on the distance of the enemy hit. Then with the 300th Spear, increase the damage of the weapon throw and Ancient Spear by 150 to 200%. With the Scholar's Salvation, increase the damage of Ancient Spear by 150 to 200%. If your Ancient Spear Boulder Toss hits 5 or fewer enemies, the damage is increased by 100%. So looks like they're going for almost kind of like a G2R over here, trying to really build up that throwing barbarian. So that's cool. I always support ideas of newer ways to actually play the game. So this will be fun to mess around with. Now, as far as Crusader, we're just taking an overall nerf over here with Norvald's Fervor over here at getting a nerf on this 200% damage increase. Previously, it was much higher. I believe it was like 400% before, and so it's getting cut over there. This is, I believe, exactly the same. I'm not sure why they just mentioned this, because I believe this is the exact same number as it previously was. So they're basically just saying it's good, but we're going to tone it down just a little bit. And then with the Monk, they are giving a nerf to the fire allies. So with the Bindings of the Lesser Gods, enemies hit by your Cyclone Strike take increased damage from your Mystic Ally for 5 seconds. Previously, there's another bonus with the fire ally, so just an overall nerf, and then talk about how to connect to the PTR over here. Now, I'm really curious to know what you guys think of this idea. I'm really curious to see what this new mechanic is going to have. Is it just going to be a way for us to re-augment? Obviously, we're going to see over on March 10th what the real gameplay is. I'm really hoping that they add a lot more new legendaries other than the thing that they mentioned over here, which, again, I'll just bring up really quickly up on the screen, which they mentioned that the newer season thing is going to be adding a new legendary gem. I'm wondering if this gem is just going to augment, because they mentioned the new legendary gem, Whisper of Atonement, is used exclusively for augmenting ancient legendary items. I'm not sure if this is going to make the power go even further than what augmenting allows, and might just be a higher number. I hope it's more interesting than just increasing the stats of the augments going past like 150, but we'll have to again wait and see, and I'll give you guys gameplay of it very soon. But let me know, guys, what you think of this announcement so far. Are you guys excited about it? I like this idea of like other players that have fallen. Maybe it might be some sort of way of like pseudo PvP where you're facing off against areas where someone else was defeated, but you try to defeat them. That'd be kind of cool if they really tried to make it so there's some sort of like incentivization to like go faster. Maybe you're racing against someone else and in terms of a clock, and you would get better rewards. Because I think that longevity would really last a lot longer if there was some sort of implementation of not necessarily just fighting each other for PvP, but maybe in terms of like how fast you can do it, kind of like those weekly greater rifts that we have, and some sort of reward for if you challenge someone else, you can be faster than them and you get like a better reward versus just being on the leaderboard. That could be interesting too. But again, I would really like to see more new legendary items or just reworks of things that people just don't use. Could just be stat number changes, so that way, you know, it's a lot easier to test out. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below. But thanks for watching, and if you guys enjoyed the gameplay, or I guess this video, because the gameplay is obviously from a previous season here, because the newest season isn't out yet. But if you guys want to see gameplay of the new season and you are new here, hit subscribe, turn the bell. On March 10th, I'll definitely deliver the gameplay of that new screaming thing. It's going to be cool. But anyways, take care, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video, and I'm out. Peace.